Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. Today I just decided to jump into it. Had nothing at the beginning to say, so I thought I might as well just talk about it. Alright, so today we are doing a review, and this review, it's gonna be a long one. So, I haven't done one of these long reviews in a while, and mm, and I thought, I only usually do them for movies that annoy me. And no, Ninjago Season 11 doesn't count. That was more of a podcasty kind of thing. So, yeah. I haven't done one of these long reviews in a while. And I was trying to think what movie has annoyed me. Or at the very least, I was trying to think of what movie I could use for a long review. Then I remembered, oh, yeah, this movie exists. So I thought I might as well do a long review on it because it really did annoy me. And it did take until a long time for me to get down everything so that I can go through it a long time. So again, if you don't like long reviews, I would advise you leave this review right now because you are not gonna like to sit here forever. Anyways, if you are into that sort of thing, get in and yeah, let's do it. So I decided to do a review, and this review and the movie I'm reviewing is The Lion King 2019. Now you're probably thinking, hey, bro, get out of here. Why are you reviewing a movie that came out a year ago? And I understand you. I hear where you're coming from, but hear me out. First of all, when it came out last year, I didn't watch it until later on in the year. I never saw it in cinemas or anything. I saw it like at the tail end of 2019. So if I reviewed it then, it would have achieved nothing. And anyways, it's so weird, at least for me, because I'm seeing a lot more reviews of this movie coming out now than in 2019. Like more reviews of that movie are coming out now than they did last year. So I figured, hey, might as well give my review as well, since everyone else is doing it and I don't seem irrelevant when I do it. So I thought I might as well talk about The Lion King 2019. And since this is going to be a long review, I thought I might as well give you a long backstory on what led up to this movie and why I'm disappointed by it. Not because I thought it was going to be great. Obviously, nothing would overshadow the original, but it's a long story. And I think it just annoyed me the more I thought about it. Maybe I'll put this like at the end where like the whole message of animation comes in, but let me just give you the story up to this. So I remember it was back in 2014 when this movie got announced, and me and my friends. Wait, what happened in 20? Oh yes, I remember in 2014. That was when they brought The Lion King back into theaters. I remember it very well because Finding Nemo came out 2013, 2014 around there because I was like around 10, 11, and The Lion King also came back to theaters in 3D. So obviously a lot of my friends were talking about it, and it just so happened that they announced they were making a live action Lion King, and so I remember me and my friends were so pumped up for this thing. We're like, so yeah, that was the case with me and my friends in that we were so excited for a new Lion King movie. By the way, I'm trying a new meme format today. It seems that my app doesn't want to work for the other format, or at the very least, it's not so great with it. So I thought I might as well try a new format today. It's gonna take a while to research the meme I want because it doesn't have the search bar, but it does its job. So at the very least, I'll be the only one suffering here. Anyway, so I remember back then, me and my friends were super pumped for the Lion King remake. We're like, oh my goodness, we're gonna see a live action version of it. And the one scene we were all talking about was how would they do the Scar scene, like the Scar Mufasa scene where Mufasa dies. Like how would they do that scene? In my mind, I already pictured it. Like just imagine having two lions on a cliff. But then would they like go out of their way to actually kill a lion for a movie's sake? I don't know. But yeah, I remember me and my friends were pumped. Come 2018 around there when they released the first trailer. And when I saw this trailer, I was greatly disappointed. I'm like, oh, it's literally the original movie. It's just all the scenes from the original movie just in 4K. And what even annoys me more now that I've seen the movie afterwards is that Jon Favreau, the guy who directed the movie, said that the movie is so much more than the trailer. Like the trailer is just there to get our nostalgia juices pumping. But then when you watch the movie, there's gonna be a bunch of original scenes, and I'm like, really? There's more to the movie than just the trailer. So then I was still pumped up for the movie. I was still hyped. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. Everyone else on the internet though, they were like, "Oh no, this is gonna be bad. Oh, this movie's gonna suck." I mean, look at this. The trailers are literally the same as the movie. Music is literally the same. And I was still trying my best to be optimistic for a movie because if you know me, when I go into a movie, I like to go into it blind. So me, I'm like, this is gonna be a good movie in 2019. You guys just wait. Even the director has told us that it's gonna be great. And so I was just pumped up for this.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
Yeah, how wrong I was proven. I remember again, me and my friends were at school talking about it. We're like, oh my goodness, the trailer has come out. We're so excited for this. And one of my friends was like, I can't wait to see Mufasa die in 4K. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be cool, but like, I might just want to see what they do next. 2019 rolls around and we get four, I repeat, four Disney remakes. We get freaking Dumbo, Maleficent 2, Aladdin, and The Lion King. Everyone went to go watch Aladdin, and now, as you know, I live in a community where people don't talk about movies, and when they do, they are literally brain dead when they do so. Like, they're morons. So they come to me saying, oh, Aladdin is so much fun. Oh my goodness, it's so much fun. And I'm like, yeah, I believe you. But I was still waiting for Lion King because like Aladdin came out in May, and I was waiting for Lion King to come out in July. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait until then. And July comes and goes. I never made it to the cinema, and instead I went to go watch Hobbs and Shaw in August. I'm such a useless person. But basically, my peeps were telling me, yo, you gotta watch Aladdin. It's like so what's this? It's so fun. Will Smith gives the genie a new breath, and I'm like, really? I go to watch Aladdin. I'm like, okay, it's not bad. It's honestly kind of fun. Obviously fails compared to the original, but as a movie on its own, I can see kids being entertained by this. And yeah, so I didn't have a problem when it came to Aladdin as much because I even told my friends, hey, I guess you could check it out if you want to. My friend told me, nah, I'm sticking with the one from the 90s. Like this guy was such a hardcore Aladdin fan, he did not want to watch the remake. Turns out we do have some strong men in society. Anyway, uh okay, I guess I should just skip ahead. So I finally got to see Lion King on the bootleg version, and yes, I pirated it. Oh, shocking horror! Anyway, like 10 minutes in the movie, I quit. I just couldn't watch the movie. It was too familiar. It was kind of boring, and on top of that, I had seen so many negative reviews. I just said, I'm gonna hate this thing, aren't I? So I never finished the movie. Come December, and my mom's like, yo, who wants to watch the Lion King remake? And I'm like, okay, sure. By the way, we watched it on a bootleg again. Yeah, you know it's shocking when even your parent gets the bootleg version. But so that's what happened. We watched the movie. This time I watched it beginning to end, and yeah. So I never gave my review. I kind of reserved all my feelings. And what happened is at the end of the movie, I asked my mom. My mom asked me, said, "Yo, this movie's great, isn't it?" And I told her it's not that good. It really isn't that great of a movie. And she's like, yeah, well, it's a close second. And I'm like, no, the original was so much better. And she says, yeah, but this is a nice successor to it. And then it made me realize this movie was only made because so that we could have people. This movie was only made, A, to rake in nostalgia, and B, to have people say, well, it's not a cartoon, it's only that means it's better blood. The cartoon version is for children. This is the more grown up version. And I'm like, but that's not true. That is so not true. The original version is so much better. It's so much grander. The original version had so many fantastical elements to it that when I watched this version, I'm like, why did you water down so many things? It's honestly head scratching. And now when my mom said that, I realized something. She wanted The Lion King to not be a cartoon so badly. Like, my mom wanted this to be not a cartoon so badly so she could say it. Again, my mom is not a person who hates cartoons. I mean, hell, I review animated movies, so she can't be that disappointed. Turns out she is. So, anyways, yeah. So, according to me, it felt like the only reason adults watch this movie, aside from the fact that they saw it when they were kids, is because they wanted it to not be a cartoon so bad, even though it is clearly CG'd, that they would say, oh yeah, this movie isn't a cartoon, it's totally real, it's more mature for older audiences, and therefore I can say I like it. It's better than the original for the mere fact that it's not a cartoon and therefore it's not for kids. I can't express how much this riles me up. If only there was, I could just say it quickly, but all I can do is try and digest it in my mind. Like, I'm just seeing my mom here. She's like, oh yeah, it can be as good as she knows it's not as good as the original, but she's like, it can be as good as the original because it looks so good. And I'm just like, but what? So according to her, this movie is so good. Like, I'm just trying to imagine it from her point of view. She likes this movie, but at the same time she doesn't want to like a cartoon. And so she wants this movie to not be a cartoon so bad. She will look at this piece of trash, this piece of laziness, and say, it's not that bad. It's not a cartoon. It's meant for more mature audiences. I think I have a right to like it. Again, if you like this movie, I'm not gonna shame you for it, but really, would you like this movie? So yeah, that's just me. Um, so I'm just thinking that older people, think that in order to prove that they're cool and grown up, they are gonna say they don't like cartoons, in which it's a dumb idea. It's a dumb thing. So, what's this? So I'm just imagining from my mom's perspective. Again, this isn't her official perspective, but from my jaded teenage mind, I'm just thinking that she does not like this. She does not like the original because it's a cartoon, even though it's very cool. But she'll like this movie just for the sake of it not being a cartoon, and therefore she doesn't have to be caught by her friends or anything. And in the words of Brad Bird himself, the guy who made The Incredibles and such, he says that animation isn't a genre, it's a media. A genre are things like sci-fi, western, things like that, and even action movies. A medium is more open, it's more broader. Animation is not a genre. It doesn't have to be necessarily for kids. Just because it's colorful does not mean children will all watch it. Okay? We have animation meant for grown-ups. Animation can tackle deeper things. Animation can do things that live action cannot do. In fact, if anything, having something be live action hinders it, because animation makes the impossible possible, whereas live action you have to try so hard. We literally have cartoon shows meant for adults. Things like Rick and Morty, Family Guy, Simpsons, all those are meant for adults, and I don't see any kids watching it. The only reason you'd say those shows are for kids is if you are Karen, and I refuse to believe that majority of the people in this world are Karen. So let's take a deep dive look. And so let's take a deep. Wait, can you see me? Okay. So let's take a deep dive look. Let us take a look at why The Lion King 2019 is not just the laziest movie ever produced. Like, it's not the worst movie ever, but it's definitely the laziest. So let's take a look at why Lion King is the laziest movie ever produced, and at the same time why it also is an insult to not just the original animated movie, but to animated movies in general, and to why people say they're for kids. Because in honesty, they can't be. Some animated movies can be horror, like Monster House. Oh god, that traumatized me. Some can be for adults, as mentioned, Simpsons, Family Guy, all that. So again, I want to take a look on why this movie is just the greatest insult to animation as a whole. This is The Lion King 2019 review. So the movie begins with, honestly, the worst part of this movie. Yes, the very first thing we see in this movie is most honestly the worst part of the movie to me. And if you ask me, in my opinion, if you are someone who came to be Phoenix, what is the worst thing about this movie to you, in your opinion? What's the worst thing about this movie? And I would say it's the songs. Every single song number is so bad. In fact, I dare say it's like it's even so bad you can't even compare it to the original. They pale not just in comparison, but it just falls on its feet. At the same time, we get to see the best thing about this movie. So let me talk about both the best and the worst thing about this movie. The best thing about this movie is the visuals. We get to see we get to see how good the animation looks. The animals actually look real, and I think they said they did some camera work with the background of Africa. So they would take footage of the African landscape, and then they would animate the animals on top of it, sort of like Disney's old movie Dinosaur. At the same time, I'm not so sure. I'm guessing the backgrounds also CG. I think they did it like half half. Half the time they would actually do camera work on the backgrounds. The other half they would CG them. And I gotta say the CG looks really good. It is very hard to differentiate between the CG backgrounds and the real life backgrounds. The problem is the animals. They try to make fantastical animals look real, and the problem with that is, as everyone says, the emotions. The animals have no emotions. Every lion looks the same. They all look just bad, and on top of that, um, you don't get an emotion out of them. It just looks so off. Like dogs have emotions, cats have emotions. How hard would it have been to give a lion a slight smile, or like even a tear or something? This movie isn't meant to be realistic. You can't do that. It was animated at first, and I take it as just me saying it. Animated movies aren't realistic. I'm just saying. But whatever. People have talked about the lack of emotion from animals, and I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Bruh.
Anyway, so the movie begins with the sunrise, and this is where you get the song of the circle of life. It's it's not bad. It just lacks all that wonder from the original. In fact, if anything, the singer kind of feels tired singing this. It's like she's singing it again, and we get the animals going to Simba's birth, all that, and we get Rafiki raising Simba. Essentially, the opening is like this. Okay, not really like that, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so he raises Simba up and he's crouching. He's never standing. Mind you, Rafiki in this movie does stand, but when he's raising the prince of the Pride Lands up, he's crouching. What the hell, my guy? Like that is just a big disrespect to Mufasa. That is so mean, but whatever. So we again everything's kind of like the original movie. Animals are celebrating. We get the opening title card sequence. Then we get to meet Mufasa and Scar. Mufasa is talking to Scar again. The animals look no different. Scar just looks like a skinny version of Mufasa. He doesn't even have a scar on him. The Scar from the animated movie, he looked evil. This one just looks hungry and tired. So yeah. And we get baby Simba, we get Mufasa, talking to Simba about how everything the light touches is his. Oh, I forgot to mention, James Earl Jones is in this movie. Yay. In fact, he's the only returning character. And mind you, not only is he old, but at the same time, he's well past his prime. In fact, you could tell he is so tired of redoing the Mufasa voice again that he barely gives any effort. He sounds so tired when he's doing it. He sounds like, oh wait, I'm doing this again. I'm so through with this. Like it just makes you wonder why not just use the original dialogue from the first movie. Oh wait, because that would mean this movie would have no reason to exist. Like it's the same thing with Sinovan again. So he tells Simba about how everything the light touches, yada yada. We get the morning report from Zazu, who just looks like any other bird. We get Simba and Nala going to the elephant graveyard, and oh no, we get the worst song in the movie. Okay, okay. A lot of people have said the worst song in the movie is "Can You Feel the Love This Afternoon." They've said it's what was this other song? Crap. Be prepared. But to me, in honesty, this is the worst song in the movie. You see, when Simba in the original, when Simba sang "I Can't Wait to Be King," there was meaning behind that, and on top of that, the visuals was so colorful. Was animation at its prime. We got animals moving back and forth, stacking on top of each other. We got some weird, trippy visuals because this was all from Simba's imagination. However, since this movie is realistic, all the animals do is run. They just run past each other. We just get to see them run. We don't even see them talk. We just see them run and run and run
3 days later.
and run and run. And yeah, that's all they do for the entire song. It really just gets annoying. So yeah, I just don't. And Simba's just like, I just can't wait to be king. I'm like, really? In the original, Simba had an entire pyramid. He was singing at the top of his lungs. Here, oh, I can't. We just get to see two little kittens standing on the edge of a water. I just can't wait to be king. I hope Disney doesn't copyright me for that. I have such a good singing voice,
All around me are familiar faces.
So, anyways, we have I Just Can't Wait to Be King, and the cubs go to the elephant graveyard. They go to the elephant graveyard, they meet the hyenas, and Mufasa comes in and attacks them. And yeah, okay, whatever. This scene was fine. I really like the hyenas this time. They actually made me chuckle. I don't know why, but I think they were a bit more funnier than the first movie. Although, let's all be real, nothing can top the joke from the first movie. You see, we're just having to have some dinner. Really? What do you want? Oh, we just want to whatever's lying around.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head.
Okay, shut up, guys. So, Mufasa rescues them from the hyenas. He gives Simba his pep talk, and we get Scar coming in to meet the hyenas. And oh God, no, 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 please no. Be Prepared happens. Okay, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that Be Prepared is the best song from the original. However, here, I'm gonna say what everyone else has said. He sings it. And then, like, the way he goes in, meticulous planning, tenacity, spanning. Oh, he rhymed. He rhymed. That means he's singing. What the hell? And what's even so embarrassing is that Scar's voice actor can sing. He legit knows how to sing. And so here, it's what? What is this? Sing, my guy. Sing the best song in the movie. No, we're just having to do this weird thing of meticulous planning, tenacity, planning. And he just sings his own way. And meanwhile, the lion himself, instead of having this like big orchestral thing, the hyenas being behind him, he's just jumping rock to rock until he gets to the peak. Mind you, in the original, he had lava coming out of the ground. The hyenas were like Nazis. It was so big. In this movie, he jumped a rock. Hooray. Yeah. So he gets the hyenas on his side after telling them he'll help them. Again, in the original movie, it felt like Scar was the boss of the hyenas, like they've known each other for quite some time. In this movie, he just meets them and cuts a deal with them. So much for world building. Just it's so great. Anyway, so Scar takes Simba to the gorge the next day. He tells Simba, you gotta learn how to roar to make your dad proud. And Simba's like, oh, okay. He scares the chameleon and the wildebeest stampede happens. Mufasa comes in and wow. In the first movie, it looked like if you fell in that wildebeest stampede, you could die. Here, all Mufasa would have to do is stand in the middle of the gorge and be like, hey, guys, could you slow down? In fact, he could do like a sick roar and even scare the wildebeest. He could have done literally anything, but no. He jumps in after Simba. He puts him on a safe ledge, and oh no, he gets carried by the hyenas. I mean, by the wildebeest. Oh no. And so he saves Simba. He climbs up the thing and he meets Scar. And oh god, no, no. This was it. The moment I have been waiting for since 2014. How would they kill Mufasa in 4D Ultra K HD? What have I said? So Mufasa gets up on the ledge and he meets Scar. Scar, help me.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Did he just skip brother? This movie is 30 minutes longer than the original, and they couldn't even have Mufasa say, Scar, brother, help me. It makes it sound like he's talking to Scar like his subject, not like his brother. In the original, he was begging Scar for help. Here, Scar, help me. And then later on, you can kiss my boots. So, obviously, I don't feel sorry for what happens next. Scar comes to Mufasa and he's like, long live the king. And first of all, let me just say, remember in the original when Scar clenched onto Mufasa's claws, Mufasa had that look of horror in his eyes as he realized, oh crap, this is bad. Guess what happens here? Scar doesn't even clutch onto Mufasa's claws. I mean, he does, but like he's like, long live the king. And instead of throwing Mufasa off, he slaps him on the face. He just slaps him. What the hell? He just slaps Mufasa? Are you kidding me?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
So, the best scene from the original, or at least one of the top 3 best scenes, gets ruined by having Mufasa not say brother and him getting slapped instead of thrown off the cliff. So, I was flabbergasted by this. Anyways, Scar throws Mufasa off, and Simba, instead of him looking like devastated, like, no, we have him do a cat meow. Yeah, okay, we've had enough of you. So, yeah, Simba starts crying. He comes out to Mufasa. He sees his dead body. This guy's like, "Oh, Simba, how could you do this? Looks like we're gonna have to kick you out." So Simba's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll leave." And he runs. The hyenas chase him. He escapes. What happens? Scar tells the kingdom that Simba died. He becomes king. Simba escapes to meet Timon and Pumbaa. And yeah, so now Timon and Pumbaa, by far the best part of this movie. They're actually funny. I love their voice acting. And they sing Hakuna Matata, and we have the log scene again. I, I'm not even bothered by anything at this point. Nothing phases me at this point in time. We have the log sing again. Then we come back to the Pride Lands and we see Nala escape. Oh, that's why this movie is 2 hours long instead of the respectable hour 30 minutes. So Nala, we get to see Nala escaping the Pride Lands. This time she's voiced by Beyonce. Just keep that in mind for later on. And she's escaping the Pride Lands. She's trying to avoid Scar. She successfully escapes the Pride Lands. Oh, the tension. It's shivering. And
What a story, Mark.
my name is not Mark, but okay. So she escapes the Pride Lands. She meets up with Simba, and they celebrate. In the original movie, this is how it went. She meets Simba. They celebrate knowing each other because they're like, "Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in years." They sing a song. Then she's like, "You have to come back to the Pride Lands." Here, she runs into Simba. And she's like, "Simba, oh my goodness, it's you. We gotta go back to our Pride Lands. I was actually looking for you this whole time when really I was looking for help. Oh my goodness, we gotta go." And so she takes Simba and then oh crap, I was even skipping a portion of the movie. They they sing arguably one of the also worst songs of the movie. "Can You Feel the Love This Afternoon?" Mind you, they were singing this movie. The original song was "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" But then it just turned into "Can You Feel the Love This Afternoon?" because they're dancing in the day. People were saying that the only reason they didn't put it at night is because it would have been too hard to animate it at night and have the lions be there. But like, it would have just been a simple editing correction. Just change it to dark mode. What the hell? So instead of it being "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" it's "Can You Feel the Love This Afternoon?" This song riled a lot of people up. Like I don't even think I have the right meme to just show what I am feeling right now. It's just ugh. So I mean, yeah, this one.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
So, and yeah, so they sing and they just it's this afternoon. Sure, why not? So anyway, Nala and Simba fight. Simba goes to meet Mufasa, and all right, here's something else as well. The cloud scene from the original. That's probably my second favorite scene from The Lion King. In that Mufasa comes to Simba, we get to see the cloud. As he's talking to Simba, he comes in a nice colorway. He's like, "You are my son," and the one true king. There was so much wonder with that. It just filled me with emotion when I was a kid. Seeing this now, it seemed as if the movie didn't know what they wanted to do. They didn't know whether they wanted to have Mufasa be a voice in Simba's head or they wanted him to be a literal ghost. Like, we'll see the clouds, but we won't see them talking. We'll see the clouds vaguely take the shape of a lion, and I mean very vaguely. And there'll be lightning crackling, and then Simba is talking to the cloud, and then Mufasa is talking to him, and then the wording is very different because, ooh, this movie is so different from the first one. And yeah, so he talks to Simba. He tells Simba he's gotta do what he's gotta do, and Simba goes back to the Pride Lands. They even remove the scene of Rafiki hitting Simba with a stick. Mind you, in the original, the whole lesson of the original was that you have to take responsibility for your actions. And Rafiki was there to help Simba learn this message. Here, he doesn't even come to Simba when Simba's in Hakuna Matata land. He's just Rafiki doesn't even come at all. What is this? He doesn't even beat Simba on the head with the stick or anything. It's just, and mind you, again, I just this whole session was wasted. So again, let me also rewind back a bit. I forgot to mention, you know that scene in the first movie where Simba like sits down and his hair gets carried across the savannah in a nice majestic way and Rafiki catches it? In this movie, Simba sits down, he shakes his head, the fur flies all the way down a river, a bird picks it up, puts it in its nest, the giraffe eats it, it poops the thing out, and a dung beetle rolls it all the way to Rafiki. Yes, people, ladies and gentlemen, the more mature version of The Lion King has a giraffe eat Simba's fur, poop it out, and it being carried by a dung beetle. That is so. That is so adult. That is such a joke adults will get.
That was legitness. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was legitness. Sure, you could say it was more. It was more realistic. But at what cost? At what cost, Disney? So between that, the song "Can You Feel the Love Tiny"? By the way, remember when I told you about Beyonce? Let's bring that again. Beyonce is a woman who's very known for being independent and don't need no man. Here she is singing about her feelings with Simba, voiced by Donald Glover. Donald Glover is also a guy who doesn't sing about his feelings a lot. Like he's a guy who's best known for "This Is America." So, in what reality did you think that these two singing together would work? First of all, much like the Aladdin movie, Donald Glover gets greatly overshadowed by his female counterpart in this song, that being Beyonce. And Beyonce, as we all know, just loves to take the spotlight in any shape or form. So she obviously overshadows him, and then we get the Mufasa scene just in like 15 minutes in one go. I'm just like, oh God, I think I'm about to die because this movie is really itching me. But anyway, here we are at the climax. So Simba, Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa make it to the Pride Lands, and Simba uses Timon and Pumbaa as bait to fight the hyenas. They actually do have a funny segment where they sing "Be Our Guest" instead of the juicy meat, all that. That was legit funny. I really like that. The hyenas chase them. Simba and Nala get in. He fights Scar. Scar tells him, you are the one who killed your father. And he launches Simba off the edge, and then Simba's like, ah!
He needs some milk!
And then Scar comes up to Simba and he's like, I killed Mufasa. Simba gets up on Pride Rock, then the battle ensues, and yeah, I mean, the fight happens. So we get Nala versus, what was her name? The main hyena, I forgot her name. Yeah, because apparently there was such a rivalry between the two. Oh, the last time she thought that she was a cop, but whatever. That was a chicken behind me, by the way. That wasn't a sound effect. And so she and Nala fight. Nala beats, obviously. Scar goes up against Simba. Simba beats Scar again. And except in this version, I think Scar died in the fire or was eaten by the hyenas. I forgot. But a thing that annoyed me about this fight is in the Jungle Book, another movie directed by Jon Favreau. You remember there was a time when Shere Khan fell into the fire? Jon Favreau used the inspiration for that fall from The Lion King. However, when it comes to making the same movie he got that inspiration from, it looks so bad. He just falls off the cliff. And I'm just there like, anyways, time to wrap this up. I am getting sick and tired of talking this movie. Simba beats Scar. He climbs up Pride Rock. He hears his father in the sky, does the roar. The lions come back. He gets a daughter, and boom, end of movie. Okay. Whew. And I was like, thank God this movie is over. I am through. But at the same time, when this movie was over, I just had a couple of thoughts in mind. Namely,
I have crippling depression.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
Are you crazy?
yep.
Are you out of your mind?
Are you crazy? So, let me give my final thoughts on this film before I bore you all with my problems and my memes. This movie is waste. It's a waste. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of potential. So many ideas they could have used for this movie thrown out the window. There could have been so many more directions this movie could have gone in. What the? A second. It's hard being a little YouTuber. So, yeah, this movie is a waste. It's a waste of potential and it's a waste of time. I do not like this movie. I can't hate it because this movie it doesn't. It's not even so bad to a point I hate it. It's not tall girl hatred point. It's just so bad to a point of I don't give two flying birds about it. I just can't. It's a movie that has nothing to it, no substance. People say, yeah, but it's an improved version of The Lion King. If you want a good Lion King, watch the original. Oh, hell, watch the musical. I haven't seen the musical, but I've heard it's really good. Go watch that instead. But do not watch this one. This is just, it's 2 hours of your life you will never get back. True, the visuals are amazing. The voice acting is kind of on top of the world, except for James Earl Jones. The songs are god awful, and the whole story is just copy and pasted. I really cannot defend this movie in any shape or form. It is just so much money was put into this movie. What's even worse is that so many talented animators were put into this movie, and now they have this movie as their resume whenever they go get a new job. And what's even worse is that this movie is the highest grossing animated movie of all time. I'm not joking. And every time I hear that title, I want to say this movie doesn't exist. This movie never happened. Frozen 2 is the highest grossing movie of all time because that comes after Lion King, but not this movie. It just can't be this movie. And so, and just like The Last Airbender, people also ignore that movie because it should not be around, and it kind of cancels season 4 of Avatar. But as much as we hate to admit it, these movies do exist and they're out there. So we have to acknowledge their existence. We just don't have to pay them any mind. So when people tell me Lion King is the highest grossing animated movie, I'll be like, Disney called it live action. So to me, Frozen 2 is the highest grossing animated movie. The Last Airbender, yeah, it exists. Yeah, we probably don't have a season 4 of The Last Airbender, but we have comics. That's good. That's cool. And so, at the end of the day, this movie just existed so that people who do not want to watch the original movie because it's a cartoon can watch this movie, but at the same time, this movie is just a cartoon. This movie is really disappointing, and it shows Disney digging at the bottom of the barrel just so they can earn a quick buck. What else can I say about this movie? It's just missed potential. It's lost effort. There is nothing in this movie that can save it. And at the end of the day, it's just a wonder how this movie came to be. I'm sorry, I had a trigger finger. I just had to push the button. And at the end of the day, after I watched the movie, I just felt like or at the very least,
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I'm fading away.
so at the end of the day, don't show this movie to your kids. If you have kids, show them the original one. Not only will you be giving them better quality, but you'll be making their childhood in the process. And if you want to preserve your childhood, go watch the original. This movie should not deserve your attention. And what's even worse is that a lot of people knew this movie was going to be bad before it came out, and they still went to see it with the excuse of, we just want a movie that numbs our minds. We want a movie that doesn't make us think too much. And I'm like, isn't that the original film as well? It literally copy pasted the story. The only thing that improved is the visuals. And yeah, the songs are honestly the worst part of this movie again. The first song I already talked about it. Be prepared. He just talks, sings, and jumps on rocks. I can't wait to be king. Has nothing to it. It's just running animals. Can you feel the love this afternoon is pointless, and Beyonce just wants to steal the spotlight. And yeah, and the Mufasa scene really broke me. It really pained me. So yeah, don't watch this movie. Skip it. And at this point in time, you've probably already watched it because again, it's the highest grossing movie of all time. So I mean, highest grossing animated movie of all time. So I'm not surprised if you haven't seen it. Either way, this movie was a waste. And yeah, so
Why you bully me?
why are you bullying me, Disney? Why are you bullying me? So all I have to say for this video to end it is
These nuts.
but yeah, Disney, please improve in the future, and you have to understand. I'm begging of you, please understand, quality over quantity. We don't want more. We just want good stories. Please. I know all you want is money, but trust me, with quality, money will come. With quantity, you'll get money, but at what cost? You lose fans in the process. This is how you're losing Star Wars fans even. Anyways, guys, don't watch The Lion King. It's not a good movie. Out of 10, I would say maybe a 4 or a 5, based on the visuals and voice acting alone. Based on stories and ruining my childhood, oh, this movie gets a 10 out of 10. It just sucks so much. But as a fair critic, I will give this movie a 4 out of 10. So those are my thoughts on The Lion King 2019. It's not a good movie. It really annoyed me. And yeah. So thank you so very much for watching, guys. I've been Captain Phoenix. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And just
But can you do it? Can you do it?
But then at the same time, I've been on YouTube for 2 years and I still have 47 subscribers. How is that possible? Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I'll be Captain Phoenix. Please be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, I will see you in another universe.